Did you know it has been 20 years since Hurricane Floyd made landfall near Cape Fear as a Category 2 hurricane? Well, the storm is the deadliest hurricane in the U.S. since Agnes in 1972. Meteorologist John Smith is here to show us the lasting impacts that storm left on the Carolinas.
One thing that Hurricane Floyd definitely did was it got the flooding situation that we see, especially inland from hurricanes, into the forefront of people's minds. It was a huge rainmaker across the eastern Carolinas. In fact, it actually led to the biggest peacetime evacuation in U.S. history up to that point. So it's definitely a very impactful storm 20 years ago. Here's a look at the track, and it made its way north of the Caribbean here, eventually strengthening to nearly a Category 5 storm with maximum sustained winds of 155 miles per hour as it approached the Bahamas. But from there, it worked its way up the East Coast and eventually made landfall as a Category 2 storm on the morning of September 16th near Cape Fear. As it did so, it delivered quite a bit of rainfall across the area. In fact, we were measuring rainfall in feet, a story that we're very familiar with over the past few years with Matthew and Florence. We saw about 4 inches of rain in Florence, but as you head closer to the coast, we were looking at well over a foot of rain in Wilmington, almost up to 20 inches of rain from Floyd before everything was said and done, and this was just in a matter of about 3 or 4 days. Now, it was the biggest flood event that we've seen, with the highest crest of the Waccamaw River near Conway up to that point since 1928. But we also saw that record get broken by Matthew in 2016 and then another 2 years later by Florence last year. So definitely not the most impactful flood event that we've seen in the area, but definitely one of the first to really get flooding on the forefront of people's minds.